Hey guys, Zach at Zero Tactical. We're talking today about the PDP Optic plates and optic installation. So on any PDP version 2, it's pretty much all the same. These M3 screws come out of the cover plate. There's a little bit of blue Loctite on each of them holding them in. Plate comes off. So all the plates that we make are only for the Gen 2 PDP slides, which look like this. So if you've got these recessed pockets in here, the cut is a little bit longer, but all the plates that we manufacture only fit this newer style. All PDPFs are this way, all the Pro SDs are this way, but none of our plates are going to be compatible with the Gen 1 PDPs. So we make an array of plates for different optic cuts. We've got the RMR, which is RMR, SRO, 507C, the new Glow, and anything else that fits the Trijicon RMR footprint. We've got Acro, and we've revised this so that you could install the Steiner MPS, though the issue is that the crossbar location and the clamp location, while similar to the Acro cut, the clamping surface on the Steiner is much smaller than the Acro, and so really it's just a bad location that it falls out, which is where the screws are for attaching the plate on the PDPs. So they're trying to clamp across this very small section, so we added this little bit of rail here on the dovetail to get a little bit more clamping. We've had good luck with this. It's just one of those things where their clamp surface area is so much smaller than the Aimpoint. It's a little bit riskier. So we're only marketing them as Acro plates, but we've got clients that have been running them for months now, no issues. We do the HE509, or this is the 509T, excuse me, and then the HE509. So guys, don't get these confused like I just did. The HE509, which is with the ACSS reticle, I believe maybe they're only sold through Primary Arms, but it's a much longer footprint. If you can see the difference here in the front and rear lugs, the 509T, which is here, is much smaller. So if you look at the cut, I mean, you got a lot more. The HE509 is a lot bigger. And don't have an example here, and the glass and everything is longer on that optic. So we do make a specific plate for if you do have that optic and you want to order the HE509, not the 509T. And then lastly, we have our 507K Shield RMS and Holosun EPS plate, and this should fit the new Vortex as well. We're going to test that as soon as it comes in, but it is a Shield RMS footprint, and we have the lugs located for the Holosun, so it shouldn't be a problem, but we will double check that and then add it to the site if it is compatible. So for on these, we also have, we provide every plate with new M3 screws to attach it to the slide. You can reuse the cover plate screws, they're the same. We found that sometimes these get stripped out because of the Loctite, and we recommend blue Loctite on all fasteners. Don't use green, don't use red, because you will have to remove these at some point, most likely. You can use green, but is a more permanent solution, but a little heat will be required. Since we've got a 509T here, let's load this up. So the plate snaps down and onto the very tight fit. You don't have any fore and aft play, no lateral play. It snaps down on that main central recoil lug. I'm not going to put Loctite on these since we're going to take it right back off, but drop these two screws in here. And same torque spec we recommend. So this is a slow key driver. We use these for our CNC machines when we put carbide inserts and tool holders. And so they've got different slip torque limiters. This one's 12.4 inch-pounds, and that's kind of the maximum torque we want to see on any of these things. There's different, obviously you can use fixed sticks. It's all kind of the same technology out there, but so, and as you get, you can kind of hear it clicking there, but it'll actually just slip. And that's how you know you're snug. And then, so some people, and I do recommend this, if you're running the 509Ts, I would remove this screw and add a drop of Loctite. Sometimes the Loctite they provide isn't adequate. So these are obviously the easiest to install because they're just a side clamping dovetail. There you go. So great optic, good look on the PDP. But just for these other plates, it starts to get critical with the screws, and we just want to be very deliberate about this. So let's start with the 507K plate. So 507 and EPS have an array of different screws that are provided. So the new EPSs are coming with 632, M3, and M4 screws. The problem is they're super long, and so they end up bottoming out inside the slide, and you'll cause them to strip the plate because they'll actually hit the bottom, and then you'll start to lift the plate and you'll strip the aluminum threads. So all of our plates are 2024, and then they're hard anodized, but you know, you can only do so much with the aluminum. We're just trying to keep the reciprocating weight down. We don't want to go to a steel plate, but we provide the appropriately lengthed M3 screws, and you can only torque them to a maximum of 12 inch-pounds. So if you guys strip them out, we're going to ask you provide some kind of documentation showing that you did indeed use a torque wrench, because we've way overstressed these. It can take way more than 12 inch-pounds of torque. But in general, whenever we've seen a failure, somebody's installed the wrong screw. They've used one of the included Holosun screws, or they've put a 632 in instead of our M3s. So these plates, the 507K and the EPS, we provide the M3 screws for. Only use the screws that we provide. It'll work on the 507K or the EPS Optic, and it's really the only commercially available screw without us making custom ones that would fit both. So that's the 507K. Obviously, you don't need anything for the dovetail models. And then, so our RMR plates, we've been selling these for a really long time. It's a great product. Our screws are 440. So these, again, we provide the screws, they're 440, and there's two different lengths provided. And the reason for this is Holosun 507Cs, 508Ts, all have a different length body than an SRO or an RMR. And so again, with having enough thread contact or lack thereof, we thread these all the way to the bottom of the plate, but you need to dry fit these outside of the gun. So put the optic on when you first get it, the plate, and install the screw and tighten it down and see how much thread you have on the bottom. You know, if there's not very much engagement, you need to do the longer screw. If it's too much, obviously the shorter. So you just need to make sure you do that in order to keep from damaging the plate. It's very important, but it's a good system. It is proven. It's been out there on the market for a while, and Walther is selling some of our plates through their web store now. So it's kind of a brief overview of the optic plate system and what it takes, fasteners, and a little bit of explanation there. Again, super critical, guys. Get yourself a torque wrench. It's good for a multitude of different weapons applications. So we like Sloki. It's a great brand. But if you have any questions, shoot us an email. Our email is info@zrtacticalsolutions.com. Thanks.